Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States of America are currently engaged in a legal dispute, and there is a great deal of speculation going on over the conclusion of the case. As of right now, the fight is still ongoing. In a short amount of time, it is anticipated that Judge Annalisa Torres will deliver a ruling, and it is believed that this decision will play a big role in determining the course of action that Ripple will pursue. In spite of the fact that the alternative cryptocurrency had been seeing a rise in value prior to the delay having occurred. Because of the delay in the delivery of the verdict, the price of the cryptocurrency has experienced a significant decrease. This is a consequence of the lengthy delay, when it was discovered that Ripple had violated the regulations that govern securities in the United States. It was discovered that the company had sold unregistered XRP to several significant investors. This was the conclusion that was arrived at by each and every one of the individuals who participated in the criminal inquiry. This is the conclusion that was arrived at after the investigation was completed and the findings were recorded. This was demonstrated in a number of ways, one of which was by the fact that a decision was already made to be taken, did not succeed in meeting the prerequisites that are necessary for it to be classified as a security. As a direct result of this, the price of the cryptocurrency began to decrease, and the market started to see a major increase in the degree of volatility. Experience was what it was. Ripple might be vulnerable to fines that range from $10 million to $2 billion, depending on the outcome of the anticipated final ruling and the likelihood of a settlement. These fines could be imposed on Ripple. To put it another way, this is something that might take place under specific conditions. If either of these two possibilities occurs, there is a possibility that a number of different things will take place and occur simultaneously. Ripple was the subject of a request for an injunction that was included in the brief that was presented to Judge Torres by the Securities and Exchange Commission. It was included in the brief that this request was made because of this predicament. The company would be unable to buy any XRP assets from institutional investors. This would be the unfortunate consequence of the situation. This is a situation that cannot be accepted under any circumstances. The adoption of this plan would most likely be detrimental to Ripple's long-term goals of expanding its operations in the United States, which would have significant implications for the increase in the price of XRP. In the event that the suggestion were to be accepted, this would be the situation. When the potential of this concept being accepted is taken into consideration, it would have a negative impact on the scenario that is currently taking place. On the other hand, a reduction in the penalty would be a result that would be advantageous for Ripple and would be a positive indication for the alternative cryptocurrency that is currently suffering difficulties. Ripple is currently undergoing its own set of challenges. The cryptocurrency known as Ripple is now going through some issues. While this is going on, a sizable number of individuals who are in possession of XRP are keeping a close eye on the legal proceedings, and they are anticipating that the verdict will be given down sometime between the months of August and September. In addition, they have the expectation that the decision will be communicated to them, which is yet another expectation that they have. The information that was available on the market at the time that this article was being created, according to the information that was available at the time of this writing, the price of an alternative cryptocurrency was trading at 0.5. Furthermore, this came about as a consequence of a decline in the value of the coin, which was greater than $16. The events that were placed over the course of the previous 5 days, despite the fact that a great deal of difficulty has been encountered as the market for cryptocurrencies continues to evolve, Ripple remains a prominent player in the overall market. Having risen to the 7th spot in terms of market value, it has established itself as a means of exchange, and it is currently being utilized. Ripple Labs has set itself the lofty objective of drastically disrupting the worldwide landscape of money transfers in order to compete with the SWIFT system that is already in existence. This is the objective of the company. The company has defined its emphasis in order to accomplish this objective. There is a possibility that this purpose could be accomplished through the utilization of blockchain technology. Despite the fact that it is a challenging topic, there are some people who are in favor of the project and have expressed an exceptionally optimistic attitude regarding the likelihood of its continuing development in the years to come. Support for AVA effort has been received from the individuals who have expressed their support for the cause. Jay Gurr makes a drawing inside the framework of his investigation into the course that the project has taken. The market analyst provided by Conatoxia provides an objective evaluation of the progress that has been made on the project. All of the project's highs, lows, and periods of slow decline are evident in this review. The project has experienced all of these things. This should be done. In addition to drawing emphasis to the detrimental features of the circumstance, he also draws focus to the beneficial parts. However, despite the fact that Ripple, a cryptocurrency exchange, has recently emerged triumphant in a number of the legal battles it has waged against the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, the company has been dealing with legal problems with the SEC for a considerable amount of time. The aforementioned disagreements have been going on for a substantial amount of time at this point. This phenomenon has been observed over the course of several years, and as a result, the price of XRP has been impacted as a direct result of this phenomenon. The initial victory for Ripple came in the form of a ruling that was issued by a court in the year prior to the cryptocurrency's establishment. This ruling was made public in the year prior to this one. The findings led to the conclusion that the selling of XRP to exchanges that permit regular investors to participate did not represent a violation of the rules that are currently in existence regarding securities. This conclusion was reached on the basis of the discovered information. On the other hand, the corporation was in violation of the regulations because it was selling to financial institutions rather than to private persons. This allowed the corporation to get around the restrictions that were in place with this movie. As a result of this, there was a violation of the rules that were in place, and the execution of the SEC request to appeal the ruling was refused, which resulted in a significant increase in the price of XRP. Due to the fact that this modification was made, the price of XRP went up by a considerable amount. The third victory occurred in October 2024, when the Securities and Exchange Commission made the decision to drop all of the claims that had been brought against the chief executive officer and executive chairman of the corporation. This was the third victory. For the third time, we were successful. In total, this victory was the third one earned. There was a total market capitalization of $29 billion for Ripple at that same point in time, according to Shaw. Looking backward may be able to help in the process of making better selections regarding investments. The way that financial institutions and other businesses view blockchain technology may possibly undergo a fundamental transformation as a result of this. This is something that Shaw thinks could be feasible. The happenings that have taken place are as described here. Despite the fact that looking backward might not always be able to accurately predict what will occur in the future, investors should continue to exercise caution when drawing assumptions on pricing because the volatility of the cryptocurrency market may be impacted by a wide range of different events. As a result of this, investors should continue to exercise caution. Several challenges include, but are not limited to, the shifts in regulatory requirements, the mentality of the market, and the conditions that are present within the macroeconomic environment. These are only some of the issues. When it comes to making predictions about the values of various assets, investors need to exercise extreme caution for this particular reason. As a result of the findings of the research that Ripple carried out, the business has arrived at the conclusion that distributed solutions will be an essential component of liquidity management in the years to come. It was as a result of the information that was discovered that this conclusion was arrived at. Brad Chase is the individual who is accountable for the development of the liquidity solution that Ripple has developed. As part of his responsibilities, he is also in charge of directing the teams who are responsible for developing products and services in order to provide the company's worldwide clientele with liquidity that is sustainable, robust, and scalable. It was Brad Chase who was the one who figured out the solution to Ripple's lie. It is the responsibility of ITs, in its capacity as the responsible party, to design and implement the liquidity solution. This responsibility has been assigned to ITs. Due to the fact that he is obligated to take action, he is responsible for the consequences of his actions. In addition to this, he has been in charge of directing